Woo! Welcome everybody to another episode of the Wyatt's Metal Podcast. How are you all doing, everybody? I hope you are all doing well. Those of you that have survived the terrible tragedy we're going to talk about in a minute. Yeah, I'm sure many metalheads are probably aware of a situation at hand right now. Let me answer some of these comments. First, get to some people. Shout out to everybody here tuned in to hear me talk a bunch of bullshit for another week. Matt Griffin here. Mud pits at the metal battle via stream are deep and wet, talking about Wacken open air, which is what we're going to be talking about probably the whole podcast. M says all the rain and mud will be the reason I'll go to Hellfest instead. That's exactly the conclusion I came to a long time ago. What we got here? Soaring Blackbird says hi. What's up? Hello. What is up, everybody? Hey, William Buckley is here. Congratulations on not playing Wacken this year, man. Yeah, so anyway, let's get right to the point. Hey, shout out for noticing my shirt, Elvira, for all of the old people there. Apparently, kids these days don't even know who Elvira is. If you have one of those kids, disown them. But for now, stop looking down here. My eyes are up here. Let's talk about Wacken open air. So, as I'm sure many of you are aware, but for those that don't know, everyone who has attended the Wacken open air festival has drowned. It was tragic. It's been all over the news. The mud apparently just went up to about 20 stories tall. As I put in here, I'll pull up my comment for those who can't see the chat. It was just announced that NATO and all the allying countries are planning on sending naval ships and submarines to Wacken to get out all the stranded metalheads who are now buried in an avalanche of mud. So, what's really going on is, as some of you might be aware, I made a video a while ago titled Why I Stopped Going to Wacken, the giant metal festival in Germany. You should probably all know about it. And in the video, I basically just bitched a lot about how it rains a whole hell of a lot, a whole tremendously, biblically a lot at Wacken. I made that video about the 2012 one. And, well, at the time, I thought that was, like, probably the worst rain I've ever seen. I heard that I think 2015 was really bad, probably on record for being... I think that was the one people are saying were the worst one so far. 2023 Wacken has upped it for being the most fucked with weather that Wacken has ever been. Let me pull up this report right here. But to stop dragging it out, Wacken open air is experiencing horrendous fucking rain. They capped their attendance, I think it was yesterday, and they capped it at about maybe I think this is like 1/3 of the ticket buyers. So there are literally thousands of people maybe listening to this who traveled across the world. So I saw some people from Chile, some people from Brazil, some people from Australia, everywhere, throughout Europe, America, planned to go to Wacken, took time off work, spent money, planned it, endured fucking hours long horrible flights with probably horrible passengers. Got to Germany. Got into vehicles, buses, cars, waited hours, days, apparently. I saw some people saying they spent like 2 nights in their car waiting to get to Wacken. And Wacken capped the fucking capacity because of the rain, because of the mud, and said to, if you're not here already, basically just turn around and go home. Obviously, they didn't say it in such like a fuck you way like that, but here, I'll pull up the post. So anyway, point being, a lot of people around the world spent a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort to go to Wacken to be turned away at the very, very last second. Jeffrey asked, which festival gets the worst weather, Wacken or Welcome to Rockville? Seems like both get fucked by rain every year. I've never been to Welcome to Rockville, so right now I'm gonna say Wacken, but hey, if maybe I'll go there and find out differently. Dad says, I should have listened to you not to go there. I saw your comment earlier. You said that you started uh I'm back home. Me and my friends just started our tour when announcement was set out today. Were you set to Were you playing Wacken or were you attending it? And are one of the people that this podcast is about right now? Because that is fucking terrible. Like, I can't imagine that. I saw so many people. I was reading the Instagram comments, which you should never do. Wacken's announcement about this, and many people saying, "What the fuck?" But a lot of people saying that you all need to stop complaining. There's nothing Wacken can do about the weather. They're doing their best. There you go. And I think that is really like, what am I gonna say? It's really like discrediting to the people who were sitting in fucking stop and go traffic for 48 hours with really low on sleep, having shit in their car that they have to get on, getting conflicting information because Vakin was sending shit out saying like, um, if you're on your way like today, like from last week to stop, but then we'll open it later and then we're gonna see, and then it's like you're good to go, and then blah 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 blah. I saw so many people saying that there was miscommunication. They didn't know what was going on. And a lot of Wacken's announcement videos were in German, which obviously the festival's in Germany, but many people go to Wacken who don't speak German. So anyway, let me catch up here. Sorry. William says Mudkips. Matt Griffin says a bunch of metal battle bands didn't get to play today either. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that real quick. Let me catch up. Oh, so Dat says I would have attended it. Well, I'm fucking bummed for you, man. That sucks. I definitely like as all the shit talking and jokes I'm gonna be doing here. I sympathize wholeheartedly, and I think it fucking is terrible. I made a whole video bitching about the rain at Vulcan, so I understand. What was I saying? Oh, let me pull up what Vulcan actually said. By the way, while I pull this up really quick, I know I have not uploaded another video yet. I apologize. I'm working on it. I am working endlessly on it. My next video, real quick, not to get off subject, but my next video is going to be on the history of metal, starting from the beginning of it to now, because many metal documentaries stopped at basically the 2000s, and I shall continue the story of metal. You're welcome. But it just takes a while to write. But I am working on it. It will be up as soon as it's ready. In the meantime, let's talk about Wacken. So, Wacken did arrival stop Q&A, full on arrival stop. This was posted, what day is it? Today at 6 p.m. I don't know if that's American time or whatever. So if you haven't left home, don't. It says, if you are on site, will the program run as planned or will some acts be canceled? We will do everything possible to run the full program and decide on a day-to-day basis together with the authorities. Yeah, so you could check their Instagram and they do one post about travel has stopped, you can't come here. Over half of the people who paid for tickets, you can't come in. Sorry. And then their next posts are how much fun everyone who's there is having. Okay, this is boring. I am currently in a traffic jam in the immediate vicinity. Will you be allowed to go to the site? No. There's a total admission stop. So sorry, people who took the fucking Argonne buses from London and traveled in about 12 hours in those shit buses and have been sitting somewhere in Hamburg for like a day and a half. Have fun eating more gas station food on your way back or figure out something to do. I've been on those buses too many times. Yeah. Then their next question is, what if I want to go home? If you prefer to not enter the festival, please follow the steward directions. What do you mean wait, what? If you prefer to not enter the festival, am I allowed in? No. But but if I prefer to, huh? You're not allowed in, but if you prefer to go home. Oh, what's worse, before I even continue. So the people who were lucky enough to get the golden ticket from the chocolate factory and be allowed into Wacken, I think, what was it? Everyone, almost everyone, uh, literally had to have their cars towed into Wacken because of how fucking bad the rain is. It was either most of the cars or all of the cars. I don't remember, but it was a lot where it caused a backup. So, one, that fucking sucks, but also that means the people who were there who brought cars can't leave. They're all gonna have to be towed out, or they're gonna have to build like cement real quickly or something. But parking lots at festivals suck already. I remember Hellfest parking lots are awful. To add fucking 10 feet of mud or however much with every car needs to be towed, that's gonna be shit. I'll get some of these comments here. The cost to cancel a planned return trip has been a huge concern. To rebook return flights could cost thousands, and I'm betting the refunds will take over a week to get back into people's pockets. Exactly. It's like, the people who are lucky enough to have been nearby can turn around and go home and are still like, oh, that sucks. If you came from America or fucking Brazil or anywhere, this is a whole thing of like, now you need to figure out hotels, where you're gonna stay. Are you gonna turn around and go back home? Are you gonna do something else? Like, on top of just the fucking anger and stress that you're dealing with right now. Damn it. Gotta get to this comment from a big member here on the channel. What is up? I'm terrible with pronouncing the names, but it's Remarkostein. Hey Wyatt, first time I get to see you in live. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. He's an awesome member of the channel. And I encourage everyone to become awesome members of the channel. Thanks for being here, and I'm glad for the people who are safe at home at Wacken. When I was there in 2012, there was a moment where it was storming rain, real shit. Me and my friend looked at each other and said, man, we don't want to be here right now. And reading all this, hearing about everything, I woke up and was just looking out the window, and it was like bright and sunny. I was like, I'm glad I'm not at Wacken. Which a younger me would have never fucking said in his life. Oscar says, and we all thought Wacken 2012 was wet. Yep. Honda says, it's sad that the festival has such bad weather this year. Can't imagine how I'd feel in there. It feels shitty. Like the people who are there who are lucky enough to see the bands, they have to hike through that mud. They have to camp through that mud. They have to everything. How terrible. Another channel member here, longtime member, Olivia. What is up? My friend was lucky to get in, and everything works with huge delays. That's what I heard too from people who managed to get in. Let me go back to this thing. So back to what Wacken's official Q&A for frequently asked questions about this sudden stop in admissions. If stewards are telling you it will be canceled for those metalheads already on site, we do everything possible to run a full program. We will definitely talk about that. If you still want to camp, you can't. Anyway, I wanted to pull up their live stream, so let's see what's actually going on the ground, see how bad it was. Because it was really weird. I saw them posting pictures where people are there, they're watching bands, and it wasn't raining. I mean, it looked muddy as fuck, but it's been muddy as fuck before and they haven't pulled this, so let's see. Wacken has a live stream, hopefully. Oh shit, I gotta mute this before I get in a lot of trouble. If nothing is going on right now, let's go backwards and see how shit is. Yeah, so Wacken has a live stream on YouTube. You can check it out if you want to stand in your living room and pour water on your head and pretend like you're there. Well, I want to see the crowd. You can't tell from the stage. The bands are playing for all of the fucking, however, tens of thousands who were turned away at the door. Just so you know, the bands you paid money to see are playing. We've got a chat inside of a chat. This place is crazy. This is hard to figure out the right spots. Well, that doesn't help. Anyway. Catch up with you guys really quick. Cubs says, I'm not sure if getting in is even that big of a win at this point. That's something I definitely thought about too. Like, okay, so you're lucky enough to get in there. You have to deal with all that fucking mud. You have to sleep in it. You're gonna watch bands while it's pissing that rain. It sucks. Like, I think when they were already reporting how it is, I wouldn't have even wanted to try at a point and being like, no, I'm good. I will turn around. An open air festival in Germany is a gamble. It's a miracle this doesn't happen every year. Exactly. Yeah. That's something I really wanted to discuss, is that this happens so often. It's so frequent for Wacken that I made a whole video on it. And I think it's time for a discussion of, like, should Wacken be moved in terms of either location or time of year that it happens? Could it stay there and there's a better time of year to put it on where it's less likely? Should it move to, if there is some possible area that's less like that? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's the whole fucking, it's the land of Wacken, the holy ground. I get it, but it's fucking unsustainable at some point. I think they should just build a giant fucking roof over the place. Build a giant retractable roof over Wacken. It's not like the Germans have a problem constructing giant machinery. It should be fine. But it's just a fucking weird situation. To be honest, I'm happy to be at home and get my money back. Yeah, so they did say that refunds will be reissued to all the people who bought a ticket who can't get in. So there is that, which is great. But also, you get your refund for your ticket. That doesn't refund the plane tickets. That doesn't refund the hotels. That doesn't refund the time off of work. That doesn't. That's like the festival ticket. It's very nice and right of them to refund the ticket. Absolutely. But the ticket is such like a minuscule part of the budget when it comes to going to a festival as a fan. Not that it's nothing, but if you're coming from overseas, if you're traveling a lot, the festival's ticket price of it is kind of the least of your worries. If you got to do flights, if you got to do fucking food, where to stay, luggage, trains, last minute shit that will go wrong. So I'm like, I appreciate them doing that. And they're not like, financially responsible for refunding airlines and stuff, as unfortunate as that is. But it's shit. It's just a really shit situation. Jeffrey, Wacken no longer open air. Wacken giant metal roof air. Cub says, moving Wacken out of Wacken doesn't sit right with me. The roof option sounds the best to me. I mean, yeah, it sounds like a ridiculous thing, but they also have an underground beer pipeline, so things can be done. Spain, Greece, or Italy would be good options still in the EU and dry on summer. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's festivals there already. That does bring the problem of like, well, how would Wacken move out of like Germany? But I don't think there's anywhere in Germany where you're gonna have a better situation. I don't know, build a giant metal dome over it. The argument I've seen for not moving it to a different date is that it'd clash with other festivals, which I think is flimsy, as Copenhagen, Graspop, and Hellfest are all on the same weekend. Yeah, I mean, that would be. I get that argument. You wouldn't have the one of the biggest festivals at the same time as the other biggest festivals, but like you said, many do it already, and it sucks for fans to have to pick and choose, sure, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same time. I'm sure they could work close to it. I don't know. There's got to be some type of way that can help fix this problem. Well, if the festival changes the location, then it can't be called Wacken. Yeah, of course, which is why the giant metal roof comes into play. Um, I've been to I've been to 4 Wackens, and it hasn't rained every time, but they're having more and more wet ones. Exactly. There has to be another weekend where there's statistically lower chance of it shitting down. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no weekend where I don't think in Germany where you can pick 100% guarantee it will not rain ever. But this is like the chances are high. The chances are really, really high and often and shitty. It's not like light rain. Um, Susan says pavement and drainage, that's what they need. Yeah, I mean, Hellfest has their concrete on the like front of the main stages, so I don't know if I can even have something like that if it doesn't help. Uh Chaos Tombs, cool name, says we did Grasspot from South Africa in 2012 and this year, so apparently we're bad luck for Wacken. Sorry guys. Looks crazy. Yeah, other festivals have been hit pretty hard too. Not as bad as Wacken was, but I did, obviously other festivals have some rain. Um, so something I wanted to bring up here. Yeah, one more comment before Derek Tooley says, "Does the rainy season in Wacken start in early summer? Might June be a better gamble than August?" That would be my guess. I don't know. I'm not totally an expert on the German weather. um, so many people were pissed about the missed or the messed up communication because Vakken was starting to say like come or wait and then don't and then stopped, and then people are hearing other things on the Reddit, like someone commented saying people are trying to sneak in. I've seen people comment saying they've known people who went there and happened to get in. Maybe a fucking guard just like snuck him in or something. I don't know. But it's all very wishy-washy right now, just like the floor at Vakken. So a lot of people were pissed off, obviously, saying they should have canceled earlier. They should have canceled completely since there are people there and bands are playing, and a lot of people got turned away. So it's fucked up that the people who got in get to see the festival, and everyone who spent hours waiting got turned away. So there's a lot of thoughts on this for me, and a lot of people were commenting in comment sections saying to basically stop whining and be happy with what you get, because they did their best. They can't control the weather. Um, they don't want to cancel it outright for the people who were there. It sucks, but what are you gonna do? Look forward to it next year. They did their best. Now, I'm not on the inside of Wacken. I don't know people on the inside of Wacken, so I don't know exactly what the talk was and going down, but I've been in and around the industry and known people have been in and out it that words that I can kind of see through business talk at times, I want to say. So here's the thing. If Vakken had canceled the festival earlier before anybody got there, when it's debatable if they knew the weather was going to be as shit as it is, there were some, I guess, statistics and reports saying that it would be, but some people said like it suddenly changed. I don't know. But if Vakken did cancel the festival, let's say like a few days ago, a week ago, where they didn't let anybody in, they would be legally responsible for refunding people, refunding bands, paying bands back. They would be very, very, very expensive on their part. It would probably fuck them very badly. If they allowed the whole thing to happen under these conditions, apparently it's not safe. Apparently, the authorities put the lockdown on. I don't think the owner of Wacken was like, all right, cut it. You guys can't come in. The authorities came in and said, lock it down at a certain point. So if they continued to allow people to come and didn't say anything at all, then that could be dangerous given the conditions. But by doing it the way that they did, stopping it at the very last fucking minute, basically, they get to still host the festival, have the bands play, still fulfill the band's contracts, and basically still get to not cancel the festival and not take the giant fucking crash in the money. So it's I would say, very, very likely that they knew much sooner than they announced that they were gonna stop letting people in, or at least they had enough information to know that they should have, and they didn't purely for contractual legal reasons. Because, yeah, if the whole thing was canceled, I think a lot of bands they would have to pay a lot of those bands out, right? um, I don't know. Like I said, I don't work for Wacken. I don't know anyone on the inside of Wacken, but I know people in the industry and in bands and who've dealt with similar situations. So I think Wacken probably could have done more sooner. Yes, they're not fully at fault for the weather, but it's such a big problem that's happened so often that they should have more preparations for it. And I know that it's a huge dent in their budget, obviously, that it might really fuck the festival somehow. But I think still running the festival with only one third of the audience there, when you had more than half of the people traveling and were turned around after dealing with that conditions, I think that's really fucked up. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I'm not in charge of Wacken's finances, though. But in my personal opinion, if I were in charge, I think they should have canceled it out right before anybody got there. And I really have to wonder if it's so shit conditions that they had to turn away so many people and only allow one third of people in. How is it safe enough to still even run the festival in the first fucking place? Wouldn't everyone there just kind of be trapped in like a dangerous situation if it's that bad? I don't know. Let's get back to some of these comments. Marcus says, I felt disappointed with the lineup this year. I saw official comments saying, don't worry, there are still headliners to be included, and no one else came. I'm now relieved to have given up. I didn't notice that. For quite a while now, Wacken's lineup has been pretty not bad, but it's been a while since it was like, oh, fuck, I have to go to that. It's been more like, if it works out, sure. Marcus says, it would be all hell. I was there in 2015. It was very complicated. This year's even worse. Yeah, people were telling me that Wacken 2015 was biblical in how bad it was. And this is worse. That's how bad it was. I just shook my camera like Jurassic Park. Right. MC comments saying the weather in general over Middle Europe has been shit since April. I saw Tolminator was getting some heavy rain. At least the first day. I think it probably cooled off a little bit. I saw the people who went to Metal Days for some reason have been dealing with the rain there. That says the worst is that everybody who ignored the warnings from Wacken got in. Yeah, I saw that. They put up a warning saying before it was full on dead stop. It was like, just letting you know, like if you haven't started yet, you should probably not, or be on hold. And apparently the people who were like, nah, fuck that, and just went to the festival, apparently a lot of them got in. I saw people commenting that. So they probably were leaking it out to kinda, like, discourage people slowly until they were finally just put the cap on it rather than just putting the cap on it. Um, Martin G, quick Wacken recap. If you mean for the specific one what we're talking about here, the rain at Wacken has been so tremendously biblically bad that they capped the capacity at 1/3 of the people who bought tickets. So people who've been traveling for days spent thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, people who just snuck in, people who planned a lot and put a lot of effort into it were turned away when they had bought tickets. And that is what we are discussing now. We did everything as it was told, not come and not got in. That's exactly what I saw, man. Fucking people were like people who actually listened to the warnings are the ones who got screwed over the most because they probably had to stay in their cars far away. And at that point, they're at the point when they limit it completely, they're fucked. And if they had just been like, if they just powered through it, maybe they would have got in. But would you have wanted to get in at this point? That's the real question. If honestly sitting in that traffic and seeing that mud, I would already have been like, and especially if these conditions, I don't know how fun it is. Um, Another channel member, what's up, man? Uh, Watching with delay. Have you heard about Clash of the was it Roofport? I don't know how to say that. Some one day festival in 2024 announced by Creator. Yes, I did see that. What is it like? I think it was the German Big Four of thrash. It was Creator, Sodom, Destruction, and Tankard. I think. Yeah, that's rad. That would be really cool. Hopefully, it doesn't get drowned out. More comments from someone who's actually there in this situation. They talked to the authorities and were told, "You are on your own. The authorities only cancel if there would be something like a hurricane." Really? There's a report that so the authorities didn't put the cap on it. It was the Wacken people. Um, Shit. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Obviously, this is just happening, so we're getting more information as it goes. Uh, Trickachu says, I think it's if we got a hot sunny download fest, we get a muddy Wacken. It's a curse. Yeah, there used to be memes going around that would be like Hellfest and people standing in the sun like boiling. It would show Wacken and it was like buried metal hands throwing the horns up. Martin G says Nova Rock was also muddy as hell this year. It's been a hell of a year in Europe. Yeah, this is not limited to just Wacken. It's just right now Wacken has quite the unprecedented situation going, I think. Megan says, had a local friend on his way there on Sunday. No idea if he made it in. Yep. A friend of mine who works in the industry said that someone she knows said that they only got in because they had VIP, and that so many people were completely fucked and turned away. Isn't that interesting that the people who paid VIP got in supposedly? um. Hyundai says, "I've noticed that festivals during August tend to have the worst weathers." Yeah, dude, I noticed that too. I would personally kind of stick to the more June, July, earlier than that festivals. Um, but I think the only like August festival I've been to in Europe was Wacken, so I'm biased, you could say. Lil John says, "Watching your Wacken video makes it seem like a nightmare to get there on a good year. I'll stick with Milwaukee Metal Fest." I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, on a good year when it's not raining, like, yeah, you gotta deal with the travel and everything, but Wacken is great when when it's dry, when it's warm, and you can see bands and people aren't turned away. I had a fucking blast in 2011, but 2012 was just traumatizing for me, and it looks like this year will be the same for many people. But Milwaukee Metal Fest was dope. MC says, "Well, I hope that party stand is drier, but I think it will also be location is different. We'll see." A friend of mine went to what festival was it? Summer Breeze, I think last year, and it was the same type of situation at Wacken. The rain was so bad. She said that she was so sick of camping in the mud that when she got home in her bed, She had a nightmare that she was still at the festival in the mud. That's terrible. Having a nightmare that you're at a metal festival. um, I'm slightly scared over how brutal salt will go, although it doesn't tend to be muddy there much even when it rains. Yeah, I haven't heard much about brutal salt and how the conditions are there. Best of luck. I hope it's great. I'm not rooting for any of these festivals to end up shitty, except for Metal Days. um, it's just it's funny because on my video about Wacken, where I really do, I'll admit I just bitched and moaned about the rain, but that's my biggest complaint. A lot of people were commenting saying that, like, "You're just too much of a pussy, you're not metal enough, like, just stay in sunny California 'cause you can't handle it here." And I don't know, like, would you wanna be at Wacken right now with how it is with the rain? I still wanna go back. Let's go back to their live stream and see if there's any more, or if we can find some pictures, that would be a better thing to look for. I don't know, personally, I don't wanna be standing knee deep in mud to watch bands, and especially under these shit conditions. Tim says, "If it's any help, if you get refunded quickly and can make it to England, we've got Bloodstock next week that's not sold out, although the weather forecast isn't filling me with optimism." Bloodstock is fucking great. Yeah, this is if any of you have that option, I do recommend going to Bloodstock. As far as I know, it doesn't turn into that bad of a situation. Or maybe you just wanna find an indoor festival at this point. Um, I wanna try to bring up some of the comments from Vakken. Really? Wait, no, I got sorry, I can't pronounce your YouTube name, but Party Sand has drainage, never problems with mud. Really? Do they really? Because then what the fuck would Vakken's excuse be? Uh, Beelzebub666 says, "I'm a Nervosa roadie." That's awesome. Even for us as a band was bad. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, bands can't be doing well in this situation either. Oh, as someone mentioned earlier, sorry that I forgot. Um, Vakken metal bands, small bands, a lot of them unsigned, local, spent a lot of money to get to Vakken. I know that it would take $10,000 more to get your equipment and everything fully to Vakken to play. A lot of those bands apparently didn't get to play. That's what I saw people commenting. So the joke I was making earlier, I was congratulating my friend for not getting to play. There's competitions throughout the world where like smaller bands can win to play Vakken, which is great. That's an awesome fucking competition. But apparently, a lot of those bands are the ones that didn't get to perform. And those would be the bands that would have funded it themselves or largely themselves and put in the money to try to get there. Um, I don't know if Nervosa is that much in that situation or not. Probably not since they're signed. But still, like for anyone, even traveling there, like you got to get all your shit through that. Um, it's a huge fucking mess. I want to look back to the live stream. Sorry, you guys are just so entertaining and such a good conversation that I forget to do stuff. It's weird. I'm split on this because like I don't want anyone at Vakken to be having a who is there to be having a bad time. However, I think this whole situation's kind of fucked up. Vakken 2023. Let's just see if any pictures come up. Oh Jesus Christ. Yep. All right. Let me share this screen. Metal injection. Some of their people apparently snuck in. Look at this. Let's go to Metal Injection's article. Wacken Open Air halts all admissions due to excessive rain and muddy grounds. Around 3,500 festival goers will not be able to attend. Look at these pictures. There's an old man with a walker in this fucking mud. This is like a war scene. This looks like shit. Um, Yeah, even being there, if you're lucky enough to get in, that is a shit situation. Oh, yeah, and Vakken's fucking, motto forever has been rain or shine. Maybe not. Like, this didn't just happen this year for the first time. I'm sure everybody knows that. So, like, this is something has gotta be done. I'm not putting, I don't wanna fully blame, like, "Fucking this is 100% your fault, fuck you." But, no, 'cause the organizers don't wanna deal with this shit. The people on the ground don't wanna deal with this shit, but I feel like this is at a point where this needs to be talked about more and something needs to be figured out in the best interest of Wacken and fans and bands, you know? Um, yeah. Brutal Assault is mostly concrete and only a few places of mud. I was there twice, and both times it rained on the last day and still was fine. Sweet. So it can be done. Oh, Jesus. Beelzebub says Nervosa played with 3 hours delay. God. So I'm sure the behind the scenes is not super fun either. That's got to be stressful on band members. Someone comments, my friend is there. My friend Cell is there. He went all the way from Washington State. I hope he's having a good time despite the situation. Because I wouldn't want to do it. Olivia, to be honest, most of the Central Europe festivals from second part of July onwards, in most cases, it is all rain or rain with moments of sun. Yeah, so would moving Wacken just earlier in the year be a better solution? I saw someone was commenting saying like around June is still pretty shit, or still has the chance to be shit. I don't know. I want people who are there who managed to get in to have fun, of course. I don't like the way Vakken handled this. I think there's a lot of I know they're kind of backed up against a wall here a bit, but it's been such a long time of this reoccurring problem, and the way they handled it is very kind of business sneaky, I think. Waiting till the very last second to tell everyone to turn around. Um, Not like giving more of a warning ahead of time. It's strange, what are you gonna do? That's what kinda threw me off. Well, that is what threw me off of Aachen 11 years ago now, and it still seems to be a problem. And it's weird because when I first was getting into metal, Wacken was, at least in my eyes, this, like, complete mecca of metal. It was called the holy ground of metal. It was like a dream to get there. One of my good friends, Ewan, a lot of you Wacken regulars might know him, uh, went every year for, I think, like, 8 years, 10 years, fucking 15, I don't remember, I'm bad at math, but he went for a long time, and it was such, like, looked forward to it every year, dreamed about it, your main focus, and already for me in the last couple of years, it was already kind of a point where I'm like, I mean, if it worked out, cool, but I'm not, like, dying about it. I'd rather go to Hellfest or 70K or smaller festivals or whatever. So maybe it's a good time to kinda for a reevaluation of Wacken, and I mean that in a good way, not in terms of, like, "Should we boycott Wacken?" No, but I don't think that at all, but the Wacken organization, in order to succeed, maybe needs to look at some things to do better or change or do differently. Like I said in my 70K video, I wasn't rooting against 70K. I'm not rooting against Wacken, but clearly this is something that kinda needs to be addressed, at least something figured out. A drainage system seems like a good idea from what someone was saying works at, I think they said Party San. Yeah. Marco Stein says Nervosa was great at Resurrection. Hell yeah. I've not gotten the chance to see Nervosa yet. I've been wanting to, and it just hasn't happened. But I hope it will soon. Megan says, my friend traveled from Vancouver, BC, so similar distance, and he goes pretty much every year. Yeah, it's a big investment. It's a big investment to get a Wacken. Many people don't realize. Beelzebub says, need to go. We have so many things to do. I hope Vagos will be better in days. Good luck, man. Good luck to you and the Nervosa team for the rest of the tour. I hope it goes well. I hope the other festivals are better weather-wise. Oh shit, this is going too fast. Maybe Wacken in another village in Germany, maybe some lost place village with less rain in the summer. Wacken has enough money, they can just buy some small village and change the name of it to Wacken 2.0. We'll do that. Here, let me show you. There's things can be done. Like when I say just build a fucking giant roof over it, I'm only kind of joking. Like, there's ridiculous concert venues nowadays. Vegas just built this ridiculous fucking thing. But I don't even forgot what it's called. The Vegas Globe Arena. Check this shit out. I know it's a lot of money, but Wacken is a big festival owned by rich people. So it's not a completely crazy idea. Vegas just built this giant planet-sized venue there called the Vegas Globe Arena. It changes colors to look all pretty and cool. But anyway, you can tell in the picture, it's really fucking big. It's not Wacken big, of course, but Wacken already has giant tents for some of their stages. It's time to get creative if we want Wacken to survive, which I do. My best advice for people at Wacken: get very drunk and just pretend like the mud isn't there. Jeffrey says, if you are in the same location every year and have the rain problems more often than not, it seems foolish to not put in a drainage system. Yeah, exactly. They have a beer pipeline. They built a beer pipeline under Wacken. If they can fucking funnel in beer, they can build a drainage system. Build this drain. Felix says, yeah, I'm near Wacken at the moment and it hasn't stopped raining for days. That is miserable. I feel bad. A friend of mine actually was an actor in Germany. He was on a what was that show called? Love is something. You Germans might know it. There's some longtime sitcom there. My friend is an actor on that show, and he just moved from Germany to Miami, and he could not be happier. He tanned quickly. So he managed to escape. I feel bad for everybody still stuck out there. Oh, here's an interesting comment. They will not change. They organized this festival for so many years. Nothing changed about the mud situation. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're going to have to, especially in this situation. This is the first time where they've turned away thousands of people who invested a lot to get out there. The rain has been shit before, but I don't think they've ever capped it to less than half capacity and told everyone to go the fuck home. And that is going to be seriously damaging for a lot of people for Wacken in the future. I think it's up obviously to people themselves to decide how they feel about Wacken after this. But in my personal opinion, I think there should be very big investments on improving things. Megan says, isn't it normally farmland though? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's still throughout the year when it's not the festival. Is it still farmland? You might gonna have to buy the land and do something because I don't know what to tell you. Wait, oh, Tim just posted an interesting comment here that I did not hear anything about. I've just remembered that last year the Wet and Headbanger stages went open air, so they have no indoor ones anymore. Unless they've brought the tent back, they literally have no cover. If that's true, then holy fucking shit, I would not want to be there. That's horrible, because those were literally the only places for, like, cover. In 2012, I watched a couple bands that I ended up discovering were pretty awesome, because I spent so much time in those stages. Those were had the giant massive tent over it, and they had bars inside so fans could be there and not drown. And did they really make those open air? Because that would be shit. Honda says, "At least Wacken will give refunds, unlike another festival I will not mention by name." Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even understand the reference. I wanna make more on that too because that festival's been pissing me off. Um, the festival, which will not be named, is happening. People are there. I don't think a lot of people, but I saw bands are playing. I'll make a video on that. That's in the works. I have things planned, but Andreas says, "I'm glad I went to Grasswap instead of Wacken." Yeah, hope you didn't deal with any rain there. Grasswap has a sick lineup too. I wish I could have went this year. It was good. Um, Remarcus Stein says, "If you complain about rain to a German, they'll just mock you. You're made of you're made of sugar, but beer runs in the veins." I mean, the beer helps, but that's the only way you would manage through this shit, I would guess. Josh Barron says, "Sup, Wyatt? Sorry I'm late." No problem, man. Thanks for coming in, checking it out. Um, if you need a recap on what we talked about, everyone at Wacken is drowned. It's really sad. I do wonder how the band situation is too, because I should have asked the Nervosa guy back when he was here. But so contractually, you have to play and you're scheduled for that time. Obviously, they said they got a 3-hour delay. That's got to fuck with your travel to the next show. Some of these issues do come up with festivals regularly. I don't want to blame Wacken 100% for like every little minor thing. Some of these things can't be helped, but I do have to consider how it affects the people on the business side of it, the workers, the third contractors, the bands, the fans who were there, the fans who were trying to get there. It's a lot. I think about all these things. I don't like I want to make a video on this actually, but I don't like this sense of like, you have to just blindly like it because it's metal, period. Bah. I think we should be able to discuss things that could be done better, things that maybe aren't a complete scam, but should be talked about, and things that are a complete scam that nobody wants to talk about. All that's for metal, as I see it. As long as the festival sells out in like 3 hours every year, nothing will change, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, yeah, that's probably similar thoughts, I would say. Josh, cough, cough, metal days. Sorry, my throat is fucked up. You should check like some cough drop or something, man. You might want to get that checked out. Olivia says, "Isn't the lineup for Metal Days identical to Tulminator for next year? It will be fun." I saw next year Metal Days has Blind Guardian, Emperor, Cattle Decap, a couple other bands can't think of at the moment. Cool how they can afford Emperor and Blind Guardian, but they can't afford refunds. But Tulminator has Primordial, fuck yeah, Necrot, Tankard, my band's playing. Dark Insanity is playing Tulminator next year. Giant wyattsmetal party in Slovenia in the river. Hopefully it doesn't rain. The Tulminator line was genuinely fucking sick. I didn't know what it was going to be until it came out. And then me and all my bandmates were like, we love all of these bands. Holy shit, this is fucking awesome. Wilhelm, Wacken Festival is becoming some sort of Viking cosplay and mud festival. It's been that for a while, which is cool. I have nothing against the Viking medieval stuff. Uh, People have brought complaints about Wacken for a while now. It has become a lot more commercial than it was. I saw some posts saying that in recent years, it was actually bought out by some like really big, major, I think, American company. This might be wrong. Don't quote me 100%, but this is what I heard from somewhere. So, um, maybe that explains some things. I don't know. I'm for Wacken being successful. I want it to be successful, and I want it to be work out in the best interest for the organizers and the fans and the bands and everybody. That's metal, I would say. Dark Insanity, yeah. That's us. We have our first show coming up this Sunday in Arizona, in Mesa, Arizona at the Nile Theater. If you are around the Arizona area, come check us out. My band, our first debut show. Very excited for it. Excited to introduce us to the world. I think it's going to be sick. And I'm definitely planning on filming our performance. I'm gonna post at least one song, if not more, up on the channel so you guys can get a full sense of what we're about and what to expect. You guys, fans of this channel, have already shown incredible support to Dark Insanity when we don't even have a full demo song up or anything yet, and it's amazing, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully, you guys have heard the little clips we have up already and enjoy those. And after this weekend, I'm gonna be able to put up a full, more DIY demo recording clip of us, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope metal festivals like it. I'm not missing Terminator 24, swear to God. Fuck yeah, thanks, man. I'm not either, obviously. Uh, are you planning on going to Maryland Death Fest next year? Yes, nothing is set in stone, obviously, because it's a bit too early, but I'm planning on making it happen 100%, whether it's because my band plays or whether I just go as a fan. I absolutely intend on making Maryland Death Fest happen next year because I've never been. I'm an American metalhead in a death metal band who's gone to metal festivals. I've never been to Maryland Death Fest. So I'm sorry to announce that I'm a giant poser here an hour into the podcast, but my grift is up, everybody. um, Honda says, if I come to Terminator next year, then the number one priority band to see, Dark Insanity included, thanks, would be Gudalux. Gudalux is so funny, entertaining. Yeah, they're playing. They're going to be fucking sick. I'm stoked for that. And the way Terminator did it, at least this year, I don't know if they will next year, but the way this year, I don't think there were any clashes. I think each band had their own time to play and weren't competing with anyone. So that is really fucking cool. See, Terminator is doing it right. I'm not just giving him I didn't just give him a shout out because, well, now they were gracious enough to invite us to play. I think they're doing it right. They're doing it in the best interest of bands and fans. They're starting small, obviously, with the intention to keep it small. They're not trying to get giant, crazy fucking, you know, billion-dollar sponsors or something like that. I'm just very supportive of DIY honesty more than that. It doesn't even have to be like an underground small thing. Something could be mainstream. Cool. As long as it's done, I feel like with as much honesty and best intentions toward everyone involved. That's all I'm looking for. Lineup for Maryland Death Fest is looking absolutely stacked for 24. It is, dude. It really is. I think they got like Primordial and Bloodbath, two of my favorite bands, right off the top. So much fucking more I can't think of, but it's sick. Megan says, I hate shows with no downtime. Like, I'd rather miss bands I don't like and not be rushing between stages and see as many bands as possible. Yeah, when I was younger, I was that type who was very meticulously planned out every step of my festival, and I'd run between each stage. And I had to get every single band in and was like obsessed and freaking out about it. And at least now, where I am for me, uh, definitely still have the priority, but I'm much more likely to be able to like I can skip that band if I need to eat or if there's something more interesting going on. That's what I really liked about Milwaukee Metal Fest is that as fucking awesome as insane as it was, at least me and my friends, we had a lot of downtime too, where it wasn't boring. It was a nice, like, relaxing refresher and then jumping back into the chaos. And that's something about Hellfest is that I still love that festival, but it's so much. You need to take like a crazy amount of adrenaline to get as much done at Hellfest as you possibly can. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just you got to know what you're getting into. I'd say. Um, sorry. By the way, is there a way for bands to apply for Tulminator? I think Scars of Oblivion could be a good fit. I think you guys could be a good fit too. Yeah, because Remarkestein here is a Rockstar member of my channel, which means that if you support the channel, which I am greatly thankful for, I'll give you a little shout out at the end of my videos. And the first band to take that has been Scars of Oblivion. And I did check out your album and I thought it was fucking sick. Yes, Tulminator does have an application process. They should have it on, I believe, their Instagram or Facebook. It should be pretty easy to find if you check out their socials. Yeah, I recommend go through that. And I do recommend people watching to check out Scars of Oblivion. They're a good band. Josh says, are you going to a European metal festival besides Tulminator? I would like to. It's a bit too early to tell. We're gonna see. Because as a band, we're hoping since we're doing Tulminator, we could get on maybe some other smaller ones in that nearby. So there's that hope. And also the thought of like, since I'm already out there, I definitely want to try to hit up more. Um, I very much want to. No definite plans yet, but I'm gonna make the best of it. I don't plan on just going to Tulminator and coming back and that's it, period. So I am keeping my eye open for which festivals don't drown out. William says Psycho Las Vegas was like that. Ran to other stages to see a couple of bands and skip others. Yeah, Psycho is fucking great. I love that festival. I want it to come back. Because you could do anything in Vegas. You could sleep in, you could chill, you could party with everyone, you could gamble, you could hang out at the pool and still watch bands. A couple of friends of mine, not last year, the year before, I believe, there was WrestleMania was happening at the same time as Psycho. And some of my friends on the second day of the festival went to WrestleMania and then came back and kept doing Psycho. And I thought that was such a fucking cool thing. Josh Barron, Dark Insanity for Hellfest 2024. If you're listening, Hellfest people, we'll fucking do it. We'll play in the campground, we'll play in the bathroom, we'll play wherever you want. Megan comments, Psycho would be the easiest for me to do once I actually have money. Yeah, for me, Psycho is great because it's easy to drive. At least for me, it's easy to drive through being in Southern California. It's nice just to have the whole like Vegas stuff and everything. I am going to get going here. I have to fucking finish writing a song before my show this weekend. And I have to work on my next video, which is coming. It's more than halfway written. I promise it will be worth the wait. So stick with me here, folks. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the channel. Fuck, what was I going to say? Yeah, I have to. Anyway, that's going to be it for the Wyatt's Metal podcast for this week. Hope everyone who managed to go to Wacken and even Metal Days is having a good time despite their situations. Hope everyone going to metal festivals is having a great time. Go listen to Dark Insanity on Instagram. Check us out. I will be having our first show is this weekend in Arizona, the Nile Theater. I will be posting a clip of that online for all of you to see. Give me your honest thoughts. Tell us how much we suck. Check out my videos. Share them to your friends. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. and I will see you all soon. Take care. Stay metal.